Hello, how are you now? It's Nezo again, back again with another video. Check it out, we have two Sakura D5s here. It's just a little quick comparison video. As you can see, they're both brand new, out-of-box build. I left the stealth mounts high in the front, but this will give you a quick overview of both of the cars and to see the visual differences. The first one, probably the most noticeable, is the front shocks maybe. The RR version, the rear-motored version over here, has IFS front suspension, so the front springs are inboard inside the front chassis, the front part of the chassis, I should say, with cantilever to the front, as you can see there. The mid-motored version, the newest version, has a standard shock tower, so they've gone back with a shock tower. And this is out of box, so I got no preload really on these guys, but both are equipped with plastic shocks, as you can see. And they both come with the stealth mounts. The other major difference, the first version of the D5 being rear motored, so the motor being out the back here, and the rear gearbox and all that. The mid-motored version has the motor here, in the middle of the chassis, but it's also high. It's mounted high, so that's also giving more of a weight shifty effect, which is pretty cool. Other major differences you'll notice, the upper deck on the mid-motored version is double tiered versus single deck on the RR, and there's a gyro tray here on the mid-motored version. They've added this as well, gyro tray, rear ESC mount, and rear receiver mount. So speed control, receiver, motor, gyro, everything's kind of right there except for the servos here. Whereas on the RR, the motor's back here, and we've just been putting the ESC here as per their recommendation, and everything else down here. In comparison to the front end, the upper decks as well is also different in the way in the mid-motored has a separate piece here for the servo, a separate install piece, so it's a separate part of the upper deck. It's all connected, but it is like it's separate here until it's connected by a plastic piece. The rear-motored version, it's all one piece upper deck, so the servo connects in there, so you have to take off the whole upper deck. That's another big difference. Other than those noticeable things, there are a good amount of similarities, except for they've updated the rear knuckle geometry, or front knuckle geometry on the mid-motored, and they've given new knuckle style in the rear of the mid-motor. And crucially, the other thing that they've calling quick release here, screws for the attach the wheels instead of wheel nuts. To me, it's not really any more quick release because instead of turning a nut, you're turning a screw, so I don't know. It's just sort of the inverse. Might even change it back depending on how annoying that gets. So that is in the front and the rear of the mid-motored car. Now, the other major change you can see is the chassis plates. This is the mid-motored. Notice all the cutaways here, the extra cutaways for a little more flex versus the original rear-motored car. And when I put these back-to-back, sort of like this without the wheels, the mid-motored car was shorter. The chassis plate is shorter by 3 millimeters. So they've trimmed a bunch of stuff on the inside and shortened it by 3 millimeters. But other than that, they are very similar. Like I said, both have plastic shocks, both come with, I believe they're soft 3Racing springs. The only difference in the shocks is the RR comes with 200 weight oil and the MR comes with 100 weight. That's the other major difference. And other than that, I've driven the RR out of box, this one, in the out of box trim, and we loved it. It did have heavy understeer, just because the front end wasn't soft enough, so that's an easy enough fix. This mid-motored here, just built, it's a friend of mine's, shout out to Kurt. He let me build it for him so I could film some videos, and we're going to put some electronics in both, send them out on the track, just out there, the strictly sideways circuit. I'm going to send them out on the track and do some filming head-to-head just out of box trim and see how we do and see how they perform. They will, however, both get a new set of wheels and tires because for some reason most kit manufacturers in the world still spec wheels that are 5 millimeter or less. So you can, I don't know if you can already see it, but there is more steering lock to be had here, because even in the mid-motored version, these 5 millimeter or whatever rims they are, this is touching the, what part does it touch? Up the upper knuckle, right here. See that? The wheel's touching the upper ball cup, and that's no good because it's not even reaching the stopper. Yeah, not even reaching the stopper, so we're not getting full lock there. This was a thing with the RR car as well. See, not even getting to the stopper, as you can see. and instead of hitting on the upper knuckle, the RR hits on the steering ball cup because low offset. So yeah, it's barely, it stays spinning barely until it rubs, but then it ruins your drifting. So if the manufacturers out there could take note, spec more than 5mm wheels if you're going to put wheels in it. Otherwise, this just forces people to upgrade. It's nice that you put them in, but it ruins the functionality of the drift front end. So other than that, I'm still pretty happy with the MR, because they kept the aluminum steering rack here. They kept the, like I was saying here, they kept that, which is good. And the stealth mounts are amazing. These magnet mounts are really strong. Yeah, they work really good. I will promote those all day long. They work really good. And other than that, it's just, yeah, put electronics in it and go. One thing I will tell you with most D5s, hear that? It's pretty standard for most D5 gearboxes. This one's not as noisy, but you can still hear it a bit. To me, they need a little bit of break-in period, so when you run the car, I've noticed a couple new D5 builds after a session or two, the gearbox quiets down when it's actually built properly, because I've seen a number of these built improperly, thus just destroying themselves. Yeah, and other than that, we're going to shoot them out head to head. I'm going to send them on the track and we're going to see what happens. And then I can compare this plastic mid-motor to the other mid-motored GA version, which has all the carbon plates and stuff, but still has plastic shocks. And that car will also get aluminum shocks in another video. So yes, thank you for watching. If you have any comments, if you have one of the MRs or the RR, or what you've done, if you swapped any parts, probably do another video with swapping knuckles and stuff. I've read up some stuff online, quick tunes to get these things even more jamming. And yeah, let me know what you think. If you have one, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching. Peace out.